and welcome to Gate City Chronicles. I'm Kevin Avard, your host, and today's guest is Jeanne Marcoux. Is that
Marcoux.
Marcoux, with the New Hampshire
Nashua Senior Activity Center.
Nashua Senior Activity Center. Well, welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks. Good to be here, Kevin.
Well, we want to get to know you and get to know what about the Senior Center, and so tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with being the executive director of the Senior Center.
Well, actually, the Senior Center has been something that's been very close to my heart for many years. My husband was one of the original incorporators, and we've stayed connected with the Senior Center and followed them through all of the years. We're celebrating our 35th anniversary this year. So the Senior Center first opened in 1978. About a year and a half ago, I was not working, and someone asked what I was doing, and I said, my husband said, she's not doing anything. So they said, would she be interested in applying for the job at the Senior Center? And I think it fit really well with my prior, what I've done in the rest of my life. I've worked in healthcare for the past 35 years. I actually started the breast center at St. Joseph Hospital, and I started the Nicholas Center at the Southern New Hampshire Medical Center. So I'm very accustomed to program development, to working with people of all ages, and so I thought this would be a really good fit for me and something I'd enjoy.
Now, my first initial thought was Senior Center. I was actually thinking nursing home, but this isn't anything like a nursing home. This is a place where seniors come, and let's just talk about some of the services. What are some of the services that they offer?
We do a number of things. Well, first of all, we have some of the services. We do a lot of educational programs, but we have, in the Senior Center, if you come there any morning, the parking lot is full because people are coming in to do aerobics, they're doing yoga, they're doing Tai Chi, they're doing all types of programs around exercise and wellness. We have an exercise room where people can go in and use the individual pieces of equipment or use the treadmills. So that's one thing that we focus on. We also have all kinds of activities. We have fun activities. We have things like the Irish social. We have a French social coming up. So we're always planning socials. We have a senior picnic, which is a big event coming up, and that's actually going to be on June 21st.
Coming up shortly.
And it's going to be at the Alpine Grove, and we always have a great turnout for that picnic. It's a lot of fun. So we do lots and lots of things like that. We also have a number of card groups. We have a golf league. We have people who, we have a bike group that meets, and we do lots and lots of other things. In addition, we have a thrift shop that we call the Armoire Shop, which actually brings revenue into us, but which is an excellent place for our volunteers to work.
Now you told me this is a real 501c3 organization.
Absolutely.
So this doesn't receive any state funds,
no
town funds or anything like that, and you're located on Temple Street.
Right. We're at 70 Temple Street.
70 Temple Street.
And we're actually in a building which is attached to Street Assures, which is a housing, that's housing, affordable housing. But the city, we actually lease our space from the city, and the city is very helpful to us in terms of maintaining the building and helping us with heat and helping us get the best prices. So in that way, the city's been really helpful. And also, in certain years, they've given us money through the Community Development Block Grant. But
now this is a big building. This is
23,000 square feet. So it's a very large building. So just looking at our heating and electricity costs, we really have to make sure that we cover those.
Right.
Our goal is not to charge people a lot of money to come, and we want to provide them with a really valuable service.
Now, to become a member of this organization, I think you said it was $35 a year?
It costs, to become a member, you have to be 50 years old, 50 or over.
I almost qualify for that.
You almost qualify. You probably could become a member. And you have to be, and it costs $35 a year. If it's a husband and wife couple or two people that live in the same household, it's $50 a year. And there's an extra $40 a year fee if someone wants to become a member of the gym.
The gym. So you have some areas where they can work out, and it's geared specifically for 50 and older.
Yeah.
And do you have trainers and people that come in and volunteer?
Well, we actually do. We have a couple of fellows that come in, and Nobody can use the exercise room until they've gone through an orientation so that they know how to use all of the machines and the equipment, and they're very comfortable with it. Right. So we don't want anybody to ever get hurt. So
well, we need a lifeguard somewhere, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we were talking about earlier was, these 55 and older communities that are popping up. They generally have their own health, their own little senior center, and which kind of affects your organization a little bit because it takes from it draws from them, from people that can visit your facility. What are your plans to continue the services? Obviously, you want members so it can sustain itself.
Well, I think one of the things that we're doing, I know, one of the things that we're going to be doing very shortly is another strategic plan. We really have to look 5 years out and say, what is it that we want to be and who do we want to serve? And as part of that strategic plan, I think we need to look at all of the new 55 and plus communities that have arisen and those that have their own programs who may compete with us or may prevent people from actually driving into the senior center. And having said that, there are lots of populations we haven't reached. There are, I know there are over 10,000 seniors in Nashua over the age of 65. So there are people, there are a number of people that we still that we need to reach out to.
Right. You were talking about earlier also about people that seem to fall through the cracks in society and redundant services. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, in terms of falling through the cracks, I have kind of a nice example. We just received a grant from the Women's Fund, and that grant is specifically for us to go out into the community and into some of the senior housing and find women in particular who are isolated. Frequently, when a woman becomes a widow, becomes isolated, it's hard for them to go out and to join a new organization, to start doing something. So we have decided that we have women that are volunteers at the senior center who said they'd love to be mentors and actually have people come in and we pair them up according to likes and interests so that when someone comes in, they don't feel alone when they sign up. Oh. So it's a way of reaching out because we know studies have shown that seniors who are isolated, who don't get out of the home, become depressed and sometimes don't get their health care needs met. And I think there's nothing that makes you feel good more than socialization and being with people.
Oh, absolutely. Do you coordinate at all with the schools, or do you have children come in from period, working with you at all?
That's not something that we've done a lot of, but I will tell you that whenever a child comes into the senior center, they're usually the focus, a real focal point. We do work with the boys, actually with Girls Inc. We did some work with them last year. We did a quilting project. So I think it's really good I think it's a great idea and it's something that we really need to pursue in terms of intergenerational, bringing more people that aren't just seniors into the center, because I think it brings a vibrancy that sometimes is missing.
I totally agree. I believe that the seniors, the youth today can really glean a lot from the seniors. There's a lot of history there that is right there, and it needs to be passed on. Otherwise, we lose a really valuable part of our heritage.
Well, I think there is, and in fact, I had a conversation with one of the reporters at one of the local papers who said he'd love to do a project and just actually videotape seniors with their stories of the fire on French Hill, or stories of things that have happened, the flood in the 1930s, or just so that people have that chronicled and their remembrances of it.
We were interviewing people the other day at Memorial Day, and the founder of Nashua Wallpaper, we happened to interview him, and as soon as he started talking, and I believe it was Okinawa that he was stationed with, my mind automatically is in movie mode. I immediately get captured into 1,000 men died or 6,000 men died in a very short period of time, and we're just not used to that. And he was concerned that the next generation, this is going to be lost. The sacrifices that were really excruciating, and the liberties that we purchase with other people's blood. We see people walking around the street with their iPhones and iPods and just living it up, and you wonder, do they remember? And it's important for I think, society for people to be passed down.
Oh, these folks
But how are you going to do that unless you get them together?
Yeah, it's wonderful. I find them, and I even sit down with a group of seniors and we start talking about a particular part of Nashua or a particular ethnic group in Nashua. Immediately, people will say, well, do you remember when this was there? Or do you remember when, do you remember St. Louis? And do you remember, all of the things that went on, Réveillon, or even the French people talk about, some of their traditions. And it's really nice to listen to. And I think we learn a lot.
My grandfather used to play at the Colonial Theater down on Main Street, and it was the Avard kids, 5 or 10 cents to come see them play. And that's a heritage that, unless I keep reminding people, there was a Colonial Theater down at one time in Main Street, and I'm captivated by these stories. Actually, there's a thing on Facebook.
Actually, I see it once in a while. It's like the old Nashua, it's like,
you're from Old Nashua if you
remember, yeah.
I love seeing those.
Yeah, I do. I actually read through it every so often because I find it's very interesting and I learn more things. But I think that interviewing seniors, you can really get a great feel for their personal stories as well as what they remember of the city.
Now, you were recently talking about Senator Shaheen actually stopped by and she did a segment on identity theft.
Yeah, she actually brought some folks from Washington and they talked about identity theft was one of the things. It was basically how to keep seniors safe, prevent them from scams, and it was very well attended. It was something that we all worry about. Yeah.
Do you offer computer courses there?
Actually, we have a wonderful computer room, and the city just donated 30 new computers to us. They're new to us. They were a little bit older for the city, but they all work beautifully. And we're starting, and we now have a website that's really a very vibrant website. So, and we have a fundraiser going that seniors are actually using the computer. So we really are starting to open up that room more and more just to let the seniors wander in, use the computers. But we have offered computer classes in the past, photography classes. Last year we did a class teaching people how to use eBay.
Interesting.
Because a lot of people wanted to know how to use eBay and sell on eBay.
We have a gentleman, he contributes to Access Nashua. His name is John Prestige. He coined the phrase Nashua Geographic. And he's 80 years old. He lives in Hollis Crossing. And he goes around Hollis Crossing and he documents all the beautiful birds that are in the area or the wildlife. And he puts on a 15-minute segment just talking about the beauty around Nashua. And he's 80 years old. And you don't generally associate an 80-year-old person to being computer literate. But what he does is he goes and gets little courses on Apple and on how to do things. And his pastime is to go around taking videos. And he loves to narrate. But that sounds like something that
well, more and more of the seniors are becoming computer literate. And actually, we've started sending more and more information to them through Constant Contact and other types of services that come through email so that we can let them know when there's a really nice show coming up. We have all kinds of trips. We have overnight trips. We have day trips. We just had a trip that came back from the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, nice.
We had a trip to Toronto. Last weekend, a group of seniors went to New York City and saw the 9/11 memorial. So we do lots of really nice things, and the trips are all very affordable. And we do open them up to the public as well. Now,
you also have entertainment there from time to time? Is it local entertainment?
We actually have entertainers there.
Wow.
We actually have many of our seniors, they come to the senior center, but then they do things that help us raise money all the time. So we have a wonderful chorus called the Silver Lining Chorus, which goes out to nursing homes and to lots of other venues and sings and brings back some money. And then we also have a wonderful tap dancing group, and they do the same thing. In fact, they're in our, every year they're in our annual show, and they are fabulous. I mean, these people can dance really well, and they're great. It's great to see. We have line dancing, and I love to go to work in the morning. I like to walk in, and I love to hear people singing, and I like to see people dancing or exercising and just socializing. I think it's a nice thing to see, and to see people being so, a lot of them walking around with chronic illness, they don't feel good, yet they put it away, and they come to the senior center, and maybe they crochet or they knit or they make a quilt or they do something in one of the craft rooms. But they leave their problems behind when they're there.
Now, describe a little bit to me the facility. I know it's 2,300 square feet. Is it just one big open floor, or is it there must be rooms that?
No, actually, we have 2 floors.
Okay.
We also, so on the first floor, we have a great big cafeteria. And in that cafeteria, Meals on Wheels prepares meals every day. So we serve lunch every day. And they also send out meals on a number of routes. So they're a partner agency that we like having with us. We think it's a natural partnership. And then we also have a couple of really large function rooms. We do also rent our rooms out. That's one of the ways we bring in some revenue.
Oh,
and we rent them at a very reasonable rate. And then we have on the second floor, we have offices, and we have an education room. We have Wi-Fi access throughout the building now. And so people can come in and do programs from the center. A lot of boards come in and have meetings there. We have a fabulous library. I don't want to forget anything. So
no,
people
that's
will
fine.
be bad.
No, not at all.
We have a fabulous, fabulous library. And actually, only the latest books are in the library. The librarians that are there take great pride in keeping that library very current. We also have a health room, so we have people come in to do vision screening, hearing screening, fitting diabetic shoes. We have a parish nurse there every week to do blood pressures. We have home health and hospice comes in to do foot clinics. So we have a great deal that's going on all the time. It's really a very busy place.
If somebody wants to contribute to the Senior Center, how do they go about doing it?
Well, there are a number of ways to contribute to the Senior Center. You could you could go online, and I believe we have a form online where you can do that. Or
what is that? What is that location? How do they get there?
Our website address is www.nashuaseniorcenter.org.
Okay.
And actually there, if you can kind of navigate around the website, you're going to see lots of other ways. Another way people can donate to us without having to spend a penny is we have a fabulous program called the Scripps Program. It's a program whereby people can purchase gift cards to Target, to food stores, to hundreds and hundreds of stores. There's no pass-through, and actually they can do it right from our website, and they can purchase these cards, and they can use them to buy, if you go to Land's End, or if you're going to shop at LL Bean, you can buy a gift card, and we get a certain percentage from every gift card that's sold.
Well, that's interesting.
So that's really a very nice service, and so we make money. It doesn't cost any money. There's no extra interest, and it's just a great way for us to, almost every restaurant in town, you can buy gift cards for the restaurants.
Is that listed on the website?
It's listed on the website, and there's a whole list through the website where you can get to the list of hundreds and hundreds of stores: Lowe's, Target, Home Depot.
Years ago, all the funding came through people who were involved with the JCs, and is that?
Well, the funding, the JCs mostly were part of the startup and actually putting the business plan together and actually starting the Senior Center. But we still rely, much of our funding comes from our own fundraisers. Our picnic is a fundraiser. We have a variety show which is coming up. It's a fabulous show. It's been running for I think almost like 34 years, and it's a fabulous show. We do it in the fall, and this year, we just finished the auditions for the show, but this year it's going to be held on October 6th and 7th, and they're a great deal of fun. And then on November 9th, we have what's called our signature event, and that's our biggest fundraiser every year, and that's where, we bring in most of the fundraising. But all during the year, staff and volunteers are running small fundraisers. We have a wonderful thrift shop that raises money for us. We raise money through rentals. So we have just had a plant sale, and many of our seniors went out and dug up flowers in their yards and brought them in and brought them to their location and sold them. And we made a nice profit from that. So what makes the Senior Center work is the fact that we have 4 paid employees. We serve 2,000 seniors. We have many, many programs. Well, we could never do that unless we had lots of dedicated volunteers.
It's creating a community within a community.
And we have many, many volunteers. They sit at the reception desk. Some of them do work, set up websites, get us new computers. We have volunteers who work in the library. There isn't anything that we do that we don't have volunteers assisting us with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And we get a lot of really skilled and fabulous people who come in and share their talents with us as volunteers and become part of the family.
And we were talking a little bit, because I am a politician, you said politicians come in here and
they do, yes.
They frequent their way through there all the time.
They do.
So whether it's both parties or all three parties or whatever.
We have people come in, and they can come in as long as they take their literature.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
We don't want to be perceived as being partisan at all. But it's fun. We always enjoy that. And I think that, especially when the presidential primaries come around, everybody comes to see us. And it's great.
Is there any religious activity that go on? Do ministers come in at time? And
well, we actually have two churches who hold services at the Senior Center, which is, they use the Senior Center and have been for a long time. They come in and they rent some of our space and have church there. But we do have, in terms of offering services other than that, we don't. But I think...
But that was basically the question. It's for every aspect of
life. It's for everybody. I mean, we certainly don't. There's absolutely no discrimination in terms of ethnicity, color. And I think that I know that one of the things we need to do is reach out more to different ethnic groups. Nashua is not the same Nashua it was 25 years ago.
Oh, no.
We have many new ethnic groups, and I think that we need to reach out to those folks and bring them in as well.
Wonderful. Well, we're getting close to the end of our interview, believe it or not. This has been very quick. If people want to get in touch with you, again, we have the website, just for their benefit, if you don't mind repeating it, and then a phone number. Okay, the website is www.Nashua Senior Center, all written out, all one long word, .org. And they could actually reach by calling me. My phone number is 816-2640. I'm always happy to speak with people. And 50 and older, my gosh.
50 and older.
Oh my gosh, January I'm going to be 50.
I have to tell you, I didn't feel like I was a senior when I first went to work there. And I soon realized that not only am I a senior, but I'm in my second generation of being a senior. So.
Well, you look great.
So it's a good thing.
Yes, very good thing. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking about the organization. Is there anything else that you want to get out there before we...
I would just say to any senior in Nashua that hasn't been to the Senior Center, you really need to come to the Senior Center. You need to see what we have to offer, because it's really a fabulous place.
And it's located on Temple Street.
It's located on 70 Temple Street.
Very nice building.
We have a huge parking lot, plenty of parking.
Does it overlook the river?
It does overlook the river.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it overlooks the river. There's a lot of trees behind. You can't really see the river, but it's right by the river.
Oh, wonderful.
It is.
Well, Jeanne, thank you very much for coming on the show, and we wish you the best and continued success with this endeavor.
Oh, great. Well, it's great to talk to you,
I really
Kevin.
like the idea of those cards, though. You can go out and buy some cards.
Oh, those cards are fabulous. They really are. And I think it's a great way to raise money and without having to spend money.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us for Gate City Chronicles. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Please contact Jeanne if you are interested in partaking in the Senior Center. So until next week, thanks a lot.